Hi, I'm Kirk Bianchi with Bianchi Design. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'd like to tell you about one of my favorite projects. The house is a subtractive style of architecture, which means you start with an overall geometry and you scoop out the interior spaces. So you have a real clean, obvious, organized, finished product. The backyard, however, was a hodgepodge of things that they'd inherited from previous owners that had no correlation to the house whatsoever. There was a geometric pool here to begin with that did match some of the lines of the house, but someone along the way decided they would drop in an artificial penguin exhibit and tack it on the end of the pool. Didn't make sense at all. So that was one of the first things that we decided to take out of the scene. Coming up with a plan for this place, the main thing that we did first was to really pay attention to the lines of the house, to kind of come up with where do things line up. And this gave us a grid and a framework to work within. One of the unique features you notice when you come to this property right from the beginning is the organized diagonal trellis work that leads your way to the front entry. This carries through the front entry all the way out to the backyard. And in fact, a lot of the house is built on diagonal lines. Once we had this diagonal grid in place, it gave us the framework that we could drop in the key elements. This backyard faces west, so it was going to be a bake oven if we didn't get some shade in here. We brought in 3 salvaged ironwood trees on a big front end loader that the tires were as big as the house. Dropped them in place, but they had to go exactly where the lines carried them because we were going to build a geometric planner around it that had to fit right into the grid of the decking space. That you can see the lines of the patio. They're all very precisely laid out in a modular way. The trees had to drop right in, but they were the first things to go in, and we had really no point of reference. So a lot of string lines going up, and a lot of care had to go into setting those the first time around. What you see here is the entry to the backyard. Above us is the diagonal trellis work that we saw at the front entry of the house. One of the strong elements of the home's architecture. So it was definitely one of the themes that we wanted to pick up on when we started creating this backyard space. We decided on this project to delay the gratification by putting the ultimate focal point a little bit out of sight. You need a focal point from the front door to draw your eye through, so instead we brought this triangular planter that has a beautiful ironwood tree in it and some green that you see right away. Kind of beckons you out to the back, but you have to come out here further to see what the final finale is going to be, where you're going to hang out for the rest of the day. Let's go see. One of the cool features of this home is the sunken living room with floor-to-ceiling glass that opens out to the backyard. Definitely an invitation to spend some time outdoors. That's why we live here, right? Before, you couldn't see the back. It was obstructed by an unorganized deck space and plantings that obscured the backyard. So we stripped that away and brought in this fire pit as a focal point instead. The fire pit is clad in granite to match the granite countertops from the indoor part of the house. So again, bringing that sense of continuity from inside to out. Everything makes sense. Your mind doesn't have to think about it anymore. This is a peaceful place to be. One of the things we enjoy in Phoenix, Arizona is that outdoor lifestyle, having your friends and family over and living outdoors. To pull that off, you need shade. So we brought in these mature ironwood trees. It creates beautiful shadow play throughout the yard. Additionally, we built a cabana to house the outdoor kitchen. This bookends the yard as it was just kind of open space before. On the left side of the house, we had some architectural overhangs jutting out into the distance that we could borrow some language from, and so we created this pergola effect here over the barbecue that follows the same diagonal lines as the house. Creates a beautiful place to hang out with your friends while you're cooking dinner. One of the design elements I love doing on every project is using the pool as a mirror. That way you can capture the surroundings that are beyond it, and it's a really beautiful effect that most people overlook. We added an overflow to all sides of the project. There's a triangle of granite that the water flows over through a half-inch slot and disappears into a buried tank that you don't even see. The beauty of this is, one, it helps to skim off all of the surface debris, but as far as a beautiful environment creation, it enhances that mirror effect in the water. All the ripples just go off the edge and they don't amplify back, and so you get a really cool mirror effect in the water. Right now we have as a focal point the ironwood tree that we salvaged from the desert, so when you marry the two together with the mirror and the beautiful tree beyond, It creates an awesome backdrop for this living space.